You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network. New shows every day. Find us at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Hi everybody, welcome to Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings finally have a home. That's right, gotta do the old Vladdy now, right? So let's preview today the Red Wings and the Dallas Stars going up against each other tonight. I thought as I keep going through these previews that we need a little bit more structure so it's easier to digest. So today we'll be going through the 5 elements of this game that I think will help or something to keep an eye on to get the Red Wings a victory. So let's start out with number 5. Number 5 for tonight is going to be special teams. The Detroit Red Wings do have a pretty lengthy streak going right now of not allowing a goal while shorthanded. And that does put their penalty kill percentage at 77.19%. But I think we'd all agree, even last night against the Columbus Blue Jackets, that the Red Wings struggled to prevent juicy chances. And it was really their goaltending that was bailing them out. So with tonight's game, Dallas comes in with a 29.41 power play percentage. They've been able to be very tough to handle. Number 4 is we're going to take a look at the perspective here from how many games have been played for these two teams. This is the 3rd game in 4 nights for the Detroit Red Wings. Dallas has played 4 games over their this will be their 4th game in their last 10 days. Another thing for Detroit to take a peek at is this, of course, is back-to-back games. But so far this season, it hasn't really been a struggle for Detroit. They are 2-1, 6-3 win over Chicago. The 4-5 loss to Toronto, of course, without Tyler Bertuzzi, and the 5-2 win versus the Vegas Golden Knights. So while the Red Wings have the ultimate challenge of trying to keep up from an exhaustion standpoint and a stamina perspective, they have been able to take advantage of their scoring opportunities. And again, to recap, 6 goals, 4 goals, and 5 goals in their second of 2 back-to-back games. But to couple that with the power plays, the Red Wings certainly are taking advantage of their best opportunities to score. An odd part of this conversation is that the goals saved above expected in the second game is actually in the negative. And this is odd because the goaltender obviously did not play the night before, and the Red Wings actually do a pretty good job of outchancing their opponent in that second game. So for the most part, we want to take a look at this and try to figure out what's going on there. You could maybe make some connections in regard to maybe juicier chances coming in at the goaltenders, while the quantitative value may not be as high. It's probably the quality that is fairly high. When you are facing a team that is on their second night, you are going to be getting the advantage of skating around their defensive strategies at certain points, and guys not able to keep up, which could be why that number is in the negative. Another element for these back-to-back games is going to be Lucas Raymond and Mo Seider, both having pretty good performances so far. Lucas Raymond, of course, having a hat trick in Chicago, but he's got 4 goals and 2 assists so far in back-to-back games. Mo Seider coming in with 2 assists, so we'll keep an eye on tonight if that trend continues. Number 3 on the list is scoring first. And of course, this has more to do with Detroit, but as we saw in the Washington game and the Montreal game, when the Red Wings were not holding a lead, they were shut down convincingly. From the point it was tough for them to enter zones, and it was very tough for them to set up and get second chances when that first chance was thrown at the net. Now, for Detroit, if this does happen again, what we want to watch out for is this becoming a trend and being almost a playbook being written on how to stop the Detroit Red Wings offense. Because we do know that talent-wise, they are lacking the second you drop down from the first line. So what we need to see, if they do fall down or fall behind early, that there is a new strategy or at least a different approach to what certainly made the victory for Washington look easy, and what made the third period for Montreal look pretty easy and fairly boring from a Detroit Red Wings perspective. So again, if the Red Wings can score first, we don't necessarily have to analyze that. You just have to hope the Red Wings get on board and can control what they want to do for the rest of the game. But again, if it doesn't happen, watch out and see what the Red Wings do to adjust to try and get back on the board and catch up to Dallas. Number 2 is the reoccurring storyline for Detroit is while they do have a pretty great first line and, of course, another couple of goals Going in against Columbus last night, it's everything beneath that first line that seems to be struggling, and all eyes seem to be pointed at Philip Zadina. So while he continues to get shown off by analytics experts and eyeball experts as well, Zadina does appear to have an issue with catching up from that scoring perspective. While we do highly respect expected goals for, of course, there's flaws in any analytic that exists, so you can't just expect things to even out. But where Philip Sedita sits right now is just too vast of a difference between expected goals and an actual goals for us to ignore. And right now, Philip Sedina sits at 11.19 expected goals for and a 4.89 actual goals for. Now, again, that huge difference is probably due to his on ice shooting percentage, where across the league, the NHL is boasting a 9.4 shot percentage. But from Philip Sedina's perspective, his on ice shot percentage is actually 5. So before that number can actually catch up to the average, Philip Sedina has a lot of work to do and the rest of his line mates. Could be a conversation for breaking up the second line. But for now, while that second line remains intact, you just hope that the bounces will start to go Zadina's way from a 5-on-5 perspective. And until that does happen, this will continue to be an ongoing storyline for the Detroit Red Wings and waiting for the actual goals for to catch up with the expected goals for. Bringing us to our number one storyline tonight, we have Nedeljkovic for the Detroit Red Wings, who is pulling away from Thomas Greiss in regards to goals save above expected. Greiss is inching his way closer to an even mark where he would actually have goals allowed and goals expected to be allowed actually being at 0. But Nedeljkovic pulling away at 2.14 goals saved above expected so far this season, which again, I would rank as my number one stat for all goaltenders. But as Nedeljkovic continues to show that he is the starting goaltender, tonight Dallas will be putting in Jake Ottinger, who last season was the goaltender in net for Robbie Fabry's hat trick and Jakub Vrana's 4-goal night. So far in Jake's career, he's played 4 games against Detroit. He is 2-2, has allowed 11 goals in those 4 games, giving him a 3.06 goals against average. And his save percentage sits right now at .867, so he is below that 900 save percentage threshold that you kind of start the conversation with all goaltenders. But with that being said, he did allow a lot of goals in a short amount of time, especially to the likes of Fabry and Vrana. So what you're looking at here is a goaltender who is susceptible to allowing chunks of goals, but he also has a couple of wins against the Red Wings. So to recap everything here, you got to hope that the Red Wings can shut down Dallas's power play. We are looking to continue the streak here of playing well on back-to-back nights, but is it too much? Of course, Dallas playing their 4th game in 10 days and Detroit playing their 3rd game in 4 days. But if the Red Wings can score first, and hopefully that's coming from Philip Zadina, and of course, some of the luck the Red Wings have had against Jake Ottinger dating back to last season, the Red Wings will have a good chance to win this. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Detroit. I'm going to say that Philip Zadina is getting on the board, and we'll be smiling tonight. So I hope everybody enjoys the game. If you do enjoy these previews, I would please ask, go ahead and subscribe. Like the video. If you do like the stylings, of course, we do our podcast that we record live when we can, but mostly Wednesdays and Sundays. And then, of course, we go live on our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you find podcasts. You can find Red Wings Rant. That's Mondays and Thursday mornings. And if you guys could do us a huge favor, subscribe there on the podcast and rate and review us too on Apple Podcasts. That does us the most good when it comes to future friends of the show finding us. So everybody enjoy the game tonight and have a good one.